Good morning and welcome back to Jody Lewis Creations. Today is Tuesday, August 29th. If you're new to my channel, welcome, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, as always, I love you so much. Thank you for your continued support. Okay, I'm finished. I have it upside down so that it's not revealing the cover. However, I do want to share with you a few things that I learned and a few things that if you're going to do this journal or this type of journal will help you hopefully in your experience. And then also it'll be for myself when I go to make this journal, this style of journal again. I'll be like, oh, that's what I did. Because yes, I do go back and listen to my videos and it helps me learn about saying so much. It helps me make fun of myself when I say how cute something is multiple times in a video. Things like that. It also helps me know that I do think that I tend to try to explain things in a way that could be understood. Sometimes I do get a little crazy, but I think even in some of my most chaotic videos, to me, they're really not as chaotic as what I think they are. So that's a good thing. That's a positive thing. So that's just a little bit of reflection, I suppose. Okay, so let's talk about a few things. If you're going to make this style of journal, know that it is going to be wonky and you're going to have to stabilize it. That is, what I mean by that is, this is super sticky tape. I'm going to use washi. What I mean by that is it wants to shift. It doesn't want to just be straight. Hi, I know I'm talking, but I got to do this. Sorry, Chloe's in here. She's got behind my spray box, ran into my leg. She wants to play. Anyway, it's going to be wonky, so you're going to have to stabilize it, and that's where you see that fabric across the top. What I did was I glued it to the front side so that I made sure it was straight, allowed that to dry, like held it, allowed it to dry, wrapped it around to the back, kind of put it how I wanted it as far as size, and it's a little snug, and I'm getting a little bit of gaiter, but don't worry, there's a tie. And then I glued it to the back, and then I put books on it to kind of compress it. And this ends up being approximately 1 3/4 inch. I probably should have done it at about 2 inches just to allow that room. Sorry, I'm trying not to show that cover. So, but it lays really flat and really nice. I think it's going to work really, really well. And you guys have seen this page. I'm not giving anything away here. So, but it flips open nicely and I like it. So, see there, I'm saying so again. Somebody got their ticker going, you counting? Okay, so it'll be wonky until you're done. So your fabric at the top will stabilize it. Now you could just do tabs, you can just do a whole sheet of fabric, you can do whatever you want. Piece, not sheet. Obviously it's not a whole piece of fabric, but it's almost full width. I did leave a little bit of reveal on both sides. The other thing that for this particular journal, or if you're going to make it and you want to put book corners on the corners, because where else are you going to put book corners, right? I had to build up my corners. And I do have some touch up here, but that's okay. I mean, it's chipboard and it's, you know, gotten a little bit of wear from just being moved around a lot to build it. But anyway, I built little corners here. What I did was I cut little, so tedious, you guys, 3/4 inch squares. And I glued them with art glitter glue. I did 2 pieces, and it's just my cardstock, the black that I've been working with. Just this stuff. There's a little remnant there. I glued just 2 pieces together, okay? And then I cut them corner to corner. So pretending that's a square, I cut corner to corner. Like if I wanted a rectangle, this would be perfect. Corner to corner. Then those 2 triangles then that are glued together, I put together, and now I have 4 triangles glued together for my corner pieces. So now my corners are protected with that on. I could have probably put them on to start with, and maybe it would have protected the corners a little bit from getting worked on. I'm not that concerned about it. It's fine. And even if those were a little beat up, now you can't see it. Okay, so there's that. I did want to show you Again, this is a page you've seen, so I'm not worried about it. Let me pull that piece out because you haven't seen that piece. And you haven't seen that piece. Okay, so I did end up using the bracelet. I believe I told you guys that. One thing that is an issue is that this is sticking to this. So I was talking to Mark about it yesterday, and he was like, leave it alone. And I said, but I'm so frustrated. I don't want it to damage the fan. And that's sticking. I mean, I could put like a piece of parchment or something in here, but that's going to seem kind of weird. But I am leaving it alone, like he said, because to his point, it's not going to be getting moved around and worked around as much as what I've been doing. So hopefully it'll be okay. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. I don't think there's anything else that I'm going to tell you about it, and I don't want to inadvertently show you the cover. Okay, I will air this. I am going to clean up on aisle 5. That is so funny, Lisa, when you say that, because it just takes me back. I think it ages me because I totally know what that means. Anyway, I'm going to clean up. I am going to film the final flip through. The final flip through is going to be aired, oh my gosh, I can't even believe I'm going to say this, December 26th. So apologies that it is going to be so long before the final flip through is aired. However, again, in being courteous, what I think is courteous, maybe it's not, maybe it's torture, for my friend who could potentially see the video, I do want her to have a surprise on Christmas if she's the one that gets it. So I don't think it's fair if I did the final flip through now and she saw it. And as you guys know, I normally wouldn't be building this journal this far in advance, but hey, but I don't want to have, I didn't want to have to take everything to build this one with me on the road, so I wanted to get it done, like you guys know. Some things that I learned. I learned that I love this style of journal, so that is one thing. Another thing that I learned is that, oh my gosh, the cat's in the closet, you guys. That could be totally dangerous. Jeez. Another thing that I learned is I need to make sure when I'm purchasing books for a project to read the description. Read, read, read. I would not ever want to do another project with glossy images like this ever again, because the glossy pages show everything, okay? I was talking to a friend about it, and she said that she had done an altered book with glossy images, and oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. She said every page showed her glue, and I was like, well, let me introduce you to my little friend here. So go to Dollar Tree, the 125 tree now, as I call it, and get this little glue eraser, and it should clean up your smudges and clean up the glue off of your glossy images. One thing I did notice is, like, see this little sequin here? Hey, get out of there. Sorry. This little sequin here, any little piece of glue, any little scrap of anything, dented the pages. There's nothing I can do about it. It is what it is. It's done. I am not going to fuss about that. What's the other thing? Oh, in building the construction of the journal itself with all of the pages and stuff that I used, I think that it would have been helpful if I had, how do I say this? So I had all those paper clips. They were driving me crazy, right? So then I was like, oh, I'm just going to glue some stuff down. Well, then that ended up posing a problem because then I glued stuff down and I realized I wasn't done working on those pages. As you know, when I was trying to put signatures in. But I overcame that. It's fine. I overcame it. However, I would say now that I have this first journal of this nature done, I've learned a lot. And now if I go to make this style again, or when I do, because I do think I want to do this again, I really like it a lot and I want to make one for me. I didn't get a prototype made like I did with the what was that kit? The Graphic 45 Blossom kit, that folio that I made. I made the Tim Holtz prototype. That's still on my shelf, but it's got mistakes. I learned a lot, but that's how we learn, right? Well, I didn't get that with this, so this swap journal is my prototype. So there's that. Oh, one thing I was gonna also say is, let me show you. Oh, I'm trying not to show you the top of this. I swear I'm trying not to. Okay, so if you can see in here, all of my pages are up inside the accordion, okay? I would prefer that not to happen. I would prefer that to be clear. So what I think I would do is adjust my images by the size of that accordion so that it's below. Because when it's open, I'm gonna fool around and show you guys this. When it's open, it doesn't look like any that it's in there, right? But then when it's closed, these are all up inside here. So I would prefer it to be below. So I would either add that measurement to my base to make my base longer, or reduce my pages by that size. So that way, when it's closed, the things are not up inside that accordion. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, you guys let me know. Okay, we talked about art glitter glue. I've used a lot, and one thing I noticed as well is your glue gets clumpy. My glue, well, this glue is a little bit old, so it's got some thick little thingies that are coming out, and you know, it gets dried up in here inside the tip and stuff. It gets goopy. Well, that goopy stuff comes out on the back of your glossy pages, and then it creates little bumps under your images. Again, nothing I can do about it because their glossy images required my art glitter glue, which required me to get them down right the first time. You are not peeling them back up without damaging your page. So on the very last image that I glued, I thought, I'm just gonna take my finger over the back of this. Lo and behold, I found some bumps. So, okay, there's that. I think I've rambled enough. I think that's everything that I've kind of learned. I have a ginormous mess here. And obviously I'm kind of making little piles and putting a few things away when I'm talking to you. I don't have any idea what my next project is going to be. I was thinking that it would be, excuse me, Tim Holtz video or something. Oh my gosh, a Tim Holtz video. Yeah, Tim, you want to do a video just for me? A Tim Holtz style journal. Because again, I do want to make a journal to take on the road with us this year. Because I didn't have that last year, and I did miss it. Look, I never even used that piece, you guys. And it's beautiful. I don't know what I'll do with it. But anyway, I'll look. See, I should clear off one area completely, then come back to it. But I don't know yet. So I know, Bernice, you mentioned bees for going on the road, or maybe a little golden book journal. I do know my friend wants me to do a Beauty and the Beast journal. But I don't have that much Beauty and the Beast stuff yet. But, I mean, that doesn't mean that I can't do one. I just don't have that much stuff to do a Beauty and the Beast journal. So I'm not sure yet what I'm going to be packing on the road. And I do need to go through my themes. I've got bees, I've got mermaid, I've got beach, ocean, all that. All that's like in my mermaid bin. I have cats, I have like chickens, like farmhouse kind of chickens. Let's see, bunnies. I have lots of bunny stuff. I could definitely do a bunny journal, and that might be kind of nice to do like maybe in January or February, because then it would be ready for spring. I can't believe I'm already talking about spring projects, and it's like not even September yet. Okay, so anyway, those are just some ideas there for you, and just, you know, kind of give me feedback. I love that Bernice, you give me feedback, and some of you don't even say a word like what you want to see me do, but maybe you just want to see what kind of chaos comes out of me. I don't know. Okay, so I think that's it, you guys. I really, really, really appreciate all the wonderful positive comments, the positive feedback. That was probably very loud. I apologize. Oh, I wanted to show you what I did. I had this little jar here because I was waiting to do that bubble trick, which I never did do for this journal, but I do want to try the bubble paper. And so I was getting tired of these brushes everywhere, and I got tired of putting them back every time I wanted to you know, stencil, because I did a lot of stenciling in this journal. I was like, oh my goodness. So then I just stuck them in here, and it's great. I love it. So you're probably going to be seeing a jar with brushes for my projects going forward, because it made it a lot easier to keep them under control. And then they weren't on my tray here with all my paper clips and stuff. And normally I don't have that many paper clips out, but goodness, I sure used a lot of paper clips on this project. So I'm going to get cleaned up here. I'm going to do the final flip through, and then I have another video I need to upload. Then this video will upload, and then that's it. That's all I've got filmed for you guys. So hope you're all doing well. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you so much for the support through this process. It was a learning curve, and you guys saw it unfold on film. So thank you so much for just being supportive and kind, and I really appreciate it. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. I'm just going to keep working here, drink my coffee, clean up this mess, and try to get this project out of my head. I'll see you later. Bye. Okay, so I was in the shower and I was like, la-di-da, and then I said, oh my goodness, I didn't tell you guys some of the things that I wanted to share with you. Okay, so a couple things. As you know, I was working with a lot of black and white, and maybe you're like, oh my gosh, all that neutral, blah, blah, I don't know. Anyway, without showing you a piece that I made that I don't want to show you yet, I doodled a flower. Hopefully that ink is dry. I just used an archival ink, so hopefully, actually, let's set that aside. So you have your neutral bit here. And I'm like, that's a lot of neutral. I think I want some color. So I just got a crayon, you guys, and just gently color, you know, wherever you want to. I should have done her hair and made here, let's do that. Let's make her hair orange, okay? And it's just very subtle. I'm not going crazy with the crayon. I'm not pushing super hard. If I want it to be darker, I can come back, right? Anyway, so you're just going to color. Sorry, I'm umming and thinking about it. I got to get ready to go. I was supposed to go get my hair cut today, but the dentist called and said they could get us both in today because our appointment got canceled on Friday. Due to all that bad weather that came in. And anyway, so I was supposed to go on Thursday, and she called me yesterday and said, oh, we can get you guys in the morning together. And I was like, okay. So I had to cancel my haircut. And it's my first time going there, so hopefully the ladies will be gracious, because I was like, I swear I just hung up with the dentist office. I'm calling you right now as fast as I could, but the office was closed yesterday. So I do feel bad. I did ask them to call me back and reschedule me because I do want to try them, but I got to get my teeth cleaned. That's more important to me. Obviously, since I've been since December to get a haircut. Okay. So hopefully you can see that just adds a little bit of color, okay? So that is your crayon. Of course, you can use a colored pencil if you want to. I just was looking at my crayons. I was like, I hardly ever use these, so I used them. Okay. And I got these for my Bible journaling, actually. They are great for like highlighting or whatever. And obviously they're crayons, they don't bleed, but that's beside the point. Okay, so next I have my black and white image, and hopefully that ink is dry. Looks like it's dry. I don't see any shiny bits. And I want to add some color. And it's glossy, right? So it's gonna move. Now you can do this on a sealed surface if you're just on regular paper and you gesso it, or it's over stay in the line, Jody. It doesn't matter. It did smear my black ink. It wasn't quite dry. Anyway, you can do this if your surface is sealed with a matte medium or just something to make it a sealed surface so that your ink doesn't soak in immediately. Then you can move it. So, you know, it's going on very bright, so I'm moving that just a little bit. And you just play with it to get, you know, whatever color you want, whatever shading you want. I'm smearing that on purpose. You can just do a straight line and dab it up, and it mutes it. So you can add some color to your black and white images on the shiny surfaces with your Pitt pens. On the matte surfaces, you can use crayons, you can use colored pencils. If I were to use this on this paper, because it's not sealed, I'm not going to be able to move it or dab it up. It's just going to soak in. So anyway, those are 2 tips. And I may come back and be like, oh, I didn't tell them that either. And I meant to, because I laid awake last night thinking about all the things I wanted to tell you guys in this video. And look, I'm already back with things I forgot. So I think that's it. Who knows? I may be back still. Okay, I knew there was another thing that I forgot to tell you. Don't forget about your embossing powders, because you can really bring a paper to life with your embossing powder. So whether you just use clear and you just want to highlight a piece, or you want to use a color or whatever. So for those of you that were following me, when I made the steampunk journal, I really used a lot of colored embossing powder on those pages. You can use clear if you just want to make a pop of color on something. So just don't forget, you have a lot of options for adding some accents to your papers. You know, this is a funny story. So earlier when I went to go take my shower, I was like, what is on my foot? And it was a little blue thingy. A dot was on my foot. But anyway, so you just have a lot of options for ways that you can jazz up these papers, or make the colors pop, or bring them to life. I mean, one of my absolute favorite pieces was in that steampunk journal when I did that piece with that lady's face on it. So if you haven't watched that video, I would encourage you to go back and watch that flip through so you have a frame of reference. I'm not going to get my embossing powders out and show you an example today, but I did want to talk about it and just remind you. So I think those are all the points I wanted to make about tips and tricks and things that I've learned on this journal in the past, maybe some things that I have forgotten about. And I think that we don't necessarily look at this and go, wow, that's so exciting with color, but then you can like add it to the color. So the neutral pages, you can totally make them work with whatever color theme scheme you're going with. Like, I personally love this paper pad. Do not get me wrong. I think it's a fantastic paper pad. I really, really enjoyed working with it a lot. And for me, that neutral base is just, the options are endless. So if you have any questions, please let me know. If you don't have the products that I said or mentioned, ask, hey, what can I use as a substitute? For example, you can use stickles. If you don't have stickles, you can use glitter glue. If you don't have glitter glue, you can use glue and glitter and create your own. So you just have a lot of options as far as that goes. Crayons, colored pencils, you could use those. Let's see, as far as the India inks that are the pit pens, you could just use ink on a little palette here with a paintbrush. I would certainly encourage you to try that on a test piece before you actually do that on your piece, but it could be an option. Or even rather than the India ink, use your markers, maybe a pastel or a lighter tone versus the India ink. Again, test it on a piece of paper. That doesn't matter before you do it on your project and you're like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? Okay, that's it. I'm going to be cleaning up now. It's 2:20 in the afternoon. I've gotten my teeth cleaned. I've gotten my hair cut. I'm good. So tomorrow is jury duty. Thursday, we're going to do Costco because we opted not to do it today. And we're going to go to Costco for our anniversary. Woo! And that'll be the day you guys see this. So anyway, love you. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you soon. Bye.